Kidding me.
You think you
Oh,
can fuck
shit.
with us and get away with
Oh
it?
crap, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey guys, what is going on? Chris here with Junkins Gaming. I think many of us can attest to that The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is probably one of PSVR's best games. If you watched my review, and you should have, I made mention that my playing experience of this game reminded me of some of my days in the Souls games. Most of that was due to the fact that Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is actually pretty vague with a lot of its game mechanics. I'm not sure if this is just bad game design, but seeing the quality that Skydance has put into this game, I think this vagueness was intentional to have us kind of just figure it out. Well, it's a good idea. Saints and Sinners is a lot of fun because I reset my game 3 times until I kind of figured out what was going on and what I needed to do differently. In an effort to help those early on in the game or just starting, I wanted to make for you 10 things about Walking Dead The Saints and Sinners that I wish I knew before I had started. Oh yeah guys, and if you like this video, please hit that like button, and if you want to see more PSVR content from me, please consider subscribing, and for video updates, hit that bell icon. Number 1. Don't run everywhere. As a VR veteran, I hate nothing more than a game that forces me to walk super slow. I know some of you need that so you don't need to wear a bib to catch your lunch while trying to play VR, but I like choices so I can play it the way I want to. Thankfully, yes, in The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, Skydance Interactive has given us the ability to control our speed, from a crawl to a slow walk and a decent jog. That being said, especially within the early hours of the game, stop running everywhere and conserve that valuable stamina. Not only does it have the same effect as wearing bells and alerting the zombie population, but it leaves you extremely vulnerable to even a single ambitious zombie. Sure, it recharges, but constant excursion depletes your overall endurance, making it so your ability to regenerate stamina gets a lower and lower ceiling. Yes, pop, junk food, and rotten food are pretty easy to find, which will bring that ceiling back to full from almost nothing, but it depletes your precious health, which is a rare commodity until you substantially upgrade the survival bench. Number 2, and yes, speaking of health, this game can be vague at times, making it so you really have to experiment with some of this stuff. For me, a big one was how healing actually worked. Now, whether you have the HUD turned on or like me choose the immersion route and just use the watch to monitor your vitals, the details are displayed in much the same way. Taking damage or eating crap food drops your health. Like stamina, it also has a ceiling that will lower as you continue to take more damage. However, unlike stamina though, health will not regenerate, and in here lies the learning curve. Bandages will heal you, with clean bandages healing you more, but only up to the halfway point, until you get much better bandages much later in your upgrade tree. Moral of the story, stop wasting your bandages in the early game stages if your health ceiling is below that halfway point, because at that point you may as well save them for toilet paper, since all the pandemic hoarders probably took it all anyway. So in the meantime, keep an eye out for pill bottles, as they are your only source for healing yourself up to full strength. Just make sure you don't try to eat the glue bottles. Number 3, upgrading is key to survival, as you will quickly realize once you've been zombie fucked for the 10th time. All the tables are tempting, and all have some vital things to consider, but my recommendation, invest early in the 3rd table, as the quieter shoes and larger backpack storage is a game changer. Also, use your inventory box or notepad to keep track of what you have and what you need. Choosing to track an upgrade item that you want will put the required materials in your notepad and allow you to be more efficient with what you fill your vital backpack space with. Number 4, days don't matter that much. Every time you drink your flask, the game saves and changes to the next day. When the game tells you resources are dwindling and the dead have increased, don't worry, it doesn't really impact the game that much of what you have to deal with. Loot randomly resets, and I never really noticed a lack of supplies or an increase in zombies, so never hesitate to do multiple resource runs. And that would be number 5. This next one is likely just a dirt moment on my part, but I just wanted to reiterate that you also have a holster on your non-dominant hip, allowing you to carry 2 one-handed weapons, or a spoon if it gets to that. In addition, when you finally upgrade that backpack to get more space, also ensure that you take advantage of the second 2-handed weapon slot on the other side of the bag. Number 6, staying on the theme of two-handed melee weapons like axes, crowbars, bats, and swords, I often found them clumsy and not really worth losing both hands for. That being said, when the need arises, pay attention to hand placement. I was so used to games where my hands simply locked into place that I failed to realize that I had learned nothing as a child and was holding my baseball bat like a moron. Think of a golf swing and ensure your hands are close together, just down from the center and able to make a nice arc. This will ensure optimal brain art and that you get the most out of each swing. Number 7, the bell tower. If you haven't realized already, the center of your watch will count down counterclockwise every time you enter a level. The cautious explorer will make sure they are on that skiff and gone before that bell tower rings, bringing with it a bunch of curious and hungry zombies. However, greedy bastards like myself will often stay out and brave the horde for that extra loot. Looters beware though, for if you have taken on a side mission from a stranger in the area, when that bell goes, so does whatever reward you were promised, often meaning some good upgrades won't be gotten until significantly later. Those are often the upgrades on the bottom row of the crafting benches that are hidden. Trust me, early travelers, make sure you open that safe in the house before the bell goes off, and if it does, just boot up an old save instead of restarting the level. Number 8, pick your fights. Charging in like a teenager with a coke habit, I quickly realized I couldn't and shouldn't try to kill every zombie I saw. Not only do they just keep spawning, but early in the game I was simply wearing out too fast, making too much noise, and not able to get enough resources to maintain my reckless gaming instincts. Stealth is not something I have often employed in my years of gaming, but seriously, leave zombies alone that aren't in your way, at least until you build up your armory. Then all warnings become null and I say paint the streets. Number 9, if you, like me, were gullible enough to buy the Tourist Edition, one of those add-ons is a set of collectible dolls. These can't be scrapped, and they serve zero purpose but to display in your bus. Don't do what I did and fill half your backpack up with the damn things and walk around for the first few hours hoping someone wanted them. And finally, number 10. Like I said earlier, junk and spoiled food is often not too hard to find, and really should only be used when stamina is getting low and you can spare the health hit. My advice, scrap that crap. One resource that can be a little tough to get sometimes is protein. So, put it in your backpack if you have the room, save that dog food and spoiled can of tuna, and put it to good use in the recycle bin. Bonus tip, NPC factions will attack you, and yes, you can kill them, but be aware, because the more of them that you kill, the more aggressive they will be in later altercations. Anyways guys, that's my 10 tips for The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. If you have tips that didn't make my list, then please feel free to leave a comment below and share your knowledge. That's it for me guys, and I'll catch you guys on my next video.